Good day everyone, I am Jericho Padura, and in this video, we're going to talk about in the part of lesson 6, which is the typical and atypical development among learners. But before we're going to start in our discussion, please be ready and suit yourselves and bear with me so we can proceed and introduce our topic for today. Before we're going to introduce our topic for today, first, we're going to have our activity. And this activity called Arrange Me. I'm going to show you the scrambled words, and I want you to arrange these words and find the correct answer. Are you ready, guys? Okay, so these are the scrambled words. Okay guys, did you get the correct answer? Very good. So these are the correct answers for our first activity. Our topic for today in the part of lesson 6, which is the typical and atypical development through language and communication of 5 years old children. Now let me ask you this question. Do you have any idea what are the typical and atypical development of 5 years old children through language and communication? Or do you have any experience in talking about this kind of lesson? And now we're going to discuss the different typical and atypical development milestones of the 5 years old children through their language and communication. Now, for our introduction, by the age of 5, children have developed good communication skills and are able to use their language for many different functions. Speech, language, and communication skills are vital at this stage as they help develop literacy and reading skills. Through school life, children should meet some speech, language, and communication milestones at different ages. Children truly are the future of our world, and healthy childhood development within the first 5 years is crucial. One of the most important to know is the development of these children and their language and communication. It is important to know their capabilities so that parents, teachers, and also their peers can measure of what they can do and what they missed within their age while they are developing. As children grow, there are different ways that they need to develop. The different childhood developmental stages help to track a child's progress. The skills usually develop predictability and are known as developmental milestones. However, every child develops at their own pace. It can be difficult to determine differences between typical and atypical children because all kids have their strengths and weaknesses. Now, these are the typical development milestones and atypical development milestones of the 5 years old children through language and communication. The typical development milestones, the children speaks very clearly, tells a simple story using full sentences, and they can also use future tenses. And for atypical development milestones, the children doesn't talk about daily activities, doesn't use plural or past tense properly. The next one I'm going to show you is the different parts of the language and communication of 5 years old children, developmental milestones, and this can also help the parents that can assist their children to develop more of what they are capable.
The first one is speech sound development. Speech is the production of sequences of sound that make up words. Children learn how to use speech sounds by listening to the sounds they hear in the languages around them. Children start by using vowel sounds and then progress to using sounds in words, sentences, and conversations. Children's recognition and use of speech sounds are important for early word learning and successful nonverbal and verbal communication with adults and other children. Children use the language they hear from adults to learn about how sounds work. We should be aware of the importance of speech production for the sake of the good development of a child. Speech and language are tools that humans use to communicate and exchange thoughts, ideas, and emotions. The second one is pragmatic skills. Pragmatic language refers to the social language skills that we use in our daily interactions with others. This includes what we say, how we say it, our nonverbal communication, such as eye contact, facial expressions, and body language, and how appropriate our interactions are in a given situation. Pragmatic language skills are very important to allow clear communications of feelings, thoughts, and ideas, that the developmentals of these skills occurs in conjunction with general language development. You can help the children in improving their skills and developmental your language skills. The most important step toward developing strong pragmatics is to developing language skills, improving nonverbal communication, apply executive functioning, use self-regulation techniques to help them to adapt the reach out for feedback and ask questions. They can also participate in pretend play activities with your child, play simple games to encourage turn-taking, and participate in group activities with peers to create stories together and practice making music with different instruments. The third one is literacy or book skills. The 5 stages of literacy development include emergent literacy, alphabetic fluency, words and patterns, intermediate reading, and advanced reading. This stage of literacy development helps the child move forward and become a stronger student. Literacy skills include listening, speaking, reading, and writing. They also include such things as awareness of the sounds of language, awareness of print, and the relation between letters and sound. Other literacy skills include vocabulary, spelling, and comprehension. To help them, you can also talk to children often, make reading together a daily routine, play rhyming games with children, set up an art or writing table in your main living area. You can also provide kids activities at home that support motor development. The fourth one is concept development. Concept development focuses on strategies that the teacher uses to promote children's higher order thinking skills and cognition. It is not rote teaching. Instead, it is the method of a teacher uses to get children to think about how and why of learning. It explores and describes the objects, movements, and qualities that are around you. It can also help children to explain their thoughts and feelings with words, incorporate counting, naming, and describing into everyday activities. It can help the children in explore and describe the objects, movements, and qualities that are around you. You can also help the children to explain their thoughts and feelings with words. You can also incorporate accounting, naming, and describing into every activities, and the brainstorm members of categories. And that's all for the concept development. The last one is vocabulary development. It is the process of acquiring new words. The size of a child's vocabulary between preschool and first grade is often a strong indicator of their reading comprehension in later grades. That's why it is important to focus on building vocabulary skills throughout reading instruction. In improving your child's vocabulary, you can also bring new words to life, visualize new words on paper, encourage your child to query any new words they came across, talk constantly with your child. You can have also two-way conversations with your child and put new words into context. Focusing on vocabulary is useful for developing knowledge and skills in multiple aspects of language and literacy. This includes helping with decoding, the phonemic awareness, and phonics. Also, it includes the comprehension and also the fluency.
Developmental milestones offer important clues about a child's development health. Reaching milestones at the typical ages shows a child is developing as expected. Reaching milestones much earlier means a child may be advanced compared with his or her peers of the same age. And that's all for our lesson for today. Thank you for listening and God bless.